Modi ore te whānau, no mai, hoki mai, welcome back to the Practice Run, your frontline pass of the hardest sports nation, brought to you by 99 Dreams, empowering others to chase their dreams. With your hosts, Rauri, Tukoirangi, and Sam Tarangi, we're diving deep into the thrilling world of the NRL and Rugby today, and who knows where the game will take us tomorrow. From the try line to the sideline, we've got you covered.
Strap in as we tackle the big plays, the game-changing moments, and the stories that define legends. Whether you're a seasoned vet or this is your first hit up, the Practice Run is for everyone. Every run, every tackle, every win. Experience the rush with us.
With exclusive insights, couch analysis, and a touch of humour, the Practice Run is here to keep you entertained, informed, and part of our practice squad. Because here, every practice run takes us one step closer to glory. The Practice Squad, where every listener is MVP, powering our play every episode, every day.
We'd also like to give thanks to 99 Dreams for powering our passion. Now let's kick things off with today's lineup.
All right, Estefano, the last preview show of the season, so we will be looking ahead at this weekend's grand final matchup between the Melbourne Storm and the Penrith Panthers. It is also Jelly and Medal night tonight. Can't say what I was going to say, but I've currently got that on this television, and we are coming to you with those as we get them. We also will be doing our final GM mode that will be brought to you by Tu and Sam, ladies and gentlemen. We've all been given a number, so we know which ones we're doing. And then that's about it for the show, right? Then we've got big plays and paydays that we do. It is our Thursday episode. Also, if you're looking forward to next week's episode, it will come out on Monday, not Tuesday next week. So just note that after the grand final episode will drop on the Monday, not the Tuesday, if the final. So make sure you're tapped in for that. It may come out at 12:30. It may be a little bit later on that Monday. So, yeah, playing it by ear, okay? We don't know what the Wi-Fi is going to be like in Auckland. We don't know if we've got unlimited Wi-Fi at the accommodation. So, we're playing it by ear, okay? So, hang tight, but just know it's coming out on the Monday, not the Tuesday. Otherwise, I think it's time for Paper, Scissors, Rock. Today is Sam verse 2.
All right, on you. You call it.
All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1, go. I don't like this at all. Yeah. No.
2 steps back into the winner's circle with a rock beating a scissor. And like we always say, paper, scissors, rock is how we do on the show. Paper beats rock, rock beats scissors, scissor beats paper. Winners win and losers lose. We've been doing this every episode now since episode 1. It's been a little tradition of ours. So who knows what next season will bring us? Probably more wins than losses. No, more losses than wins. That's how the saying goes. But yeah. Looking into GM mode now, we've got the final team of the GM list of our fantasy series. So if you've been following along, hope you've enjoyed the series so far. If you didn't like your team, well, shit. Come on next year and you do better. You give your team some mana and we'll deny their trades. I think 2 was 1-4. Was it 1-4-7?
Yeah.
Is that you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sam was
2-5.
2-5-8, and so on and so on and so on. So we'll go down the list. You go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So the names we read are the players we chose, and then give a little bit of a background to them. Although that 10, I filled it in because no one picked someone.
Hey, at 10.
Yeah, we'll go with it.
That was 2's job.
Nah, it's there now. It's there now.
Yeah, so I put them in there because there was a gap.
Yep, good as gold.
He's from Scotland.
Yeah, well, you give us the breakdown on him, mate. You give us.
just remember, there's a theme that we adhere to whenever I'm doing a team. So there's half the reason he's in there. But I guess we might as well start. The people at home probably know what the. Gee, I did not know he was like that. I didn't know Angus Crichton got down like that. My God.
Wait, what?
Ooh.
Where's Angus?
Holy. Didn't realize he was like that. Anyways, oof. Is that Spence with the Louis Vuitton shoes? Of course it is. Anyway, will the Panthers
That's
rebuild
critter.
the team doesn't really have many people to choose from, so it is what it is. And where you go?
Do you want me to just kick it off?
Yeah, we're just gonna go down the list.
Yeah.
One each.
Can I preface by saying something?
Sure.
I wish we had recorded the moment that we did this team. Whānau. You would have seen it was a beauty.
It was chaotic.
It was just the chaos was something else. This team almost got torn apart. There was one point where we all got given our numbers, and then I had the easiest job. I pretty much ended up with the whole spine. So I wasn't going to make any changes, and you had these two over here. I think something happened. They were trying to make a trade. One didn't like it, or one wouldn't agree to it, and then we ended up where half the team ended up on all the other teams. It was pretty much sabotage, Whānau. You should have seen it. It was a thing of beauty. If that was recorded, you would have seen how arguments happen when off camera. So it got to the point where these two were making trades with all their players, and I'm like, well, I have access to literally the three best players on this team. If these two are gonna trade half the players they got, I'd be foolish not. So there was a point where Dylan Edwards and Nathan Cleary ended up on the Bulldogs, but then karma has prevailed, and the next day we decided to just scrap it and do a more legit version of my GM. So this ended up being the finishing one. So obviously at number one, Dylan Edwards, he wasn't going anywhere. Easiest decision. He's staying put. So here's your fullback.
On your wing, this is where the disagreement started. As we all know, for 2025, Blaze Talangi is signed to the Panthers. I happen to be a big believer. Blaze's best position currently is the wing, as shown by his form at the Eels. Now, since I had the second pick, I took Blaze on the wing. There was definitely some arguments for Blaze in the centres. A little for Blaze at 6. But nah, man, he's on the wing this year. He's on the wing in this rebuild.
It's easier to find a winger than it is to find a centre.
Not a good one.
And so now we've got Cameron Redpath coming over from England. Rugby union player. Got some good highlights.
Where's Paul Adamati?
Look, mate.
He's gone.
This is the issue. The trades also aren't documented, so God knows where he is.
I think he's literally just still not in the 17, but just on the team.
Oh.
Not good enough. He's not where we wanted to go. The direction is elsewhere. We've got someone who can boot the ball. Hey, you wanted Blaze on the wing?
Yep.
I'm bringing them players. That's what we get. This is what we get. So, Cameron Redpath. I think he plays in England. When my screen refreshes. Yeah, so he plays... Oh, he's from Scotland. He plays for Bath. And is born in France. Gee, that is so confusing. He's French, playing for Scotland. Club is in England. That's so messy.
Good.
He currently plays centre. He's freaking 6 foot something. 188 meters. I don't know how that many is in foot. He's 6'2". 6'2", 6'3" centre. 96 kgs. Great highlights. Strong ball runner. And I thought, that's what they need. No passes.
Nice, solid there. And then at number 4, I had the other centre. He's punted up with Isaac Tango. Again, another easy decision. This one was a pretty straightforward GM mode on my part. I pretty much kept everyone. So Isaac Tango is your other centre.
as per the trades. To'o wasn't always on the Panthers, but he is here for now. So your number 5 is Brown To'o.
At 6, I don't actually know his first name, so we've got Jermaine Cole, the
Jack.
hip-hop
Jack.
phenom, former basketball player. I think he played in like the Philippines or some shit. He's got about 32 mixtapes. From America, we've got Jermaine Cole.
Yeah, at 7. He was close. He was a bulldog for a night before he got put back. But obviously, arguably the best player in the game, Nathan Cleary.
Starting at 8. I think he was a Tiger for a hot minute. Moses Leota.
I don't actually know who this is, but Luke Summerton.
I think he's
on the team.
Yeah, he's on the team, and he low-key, I wonder if he's the one that might be in the Kiwis team. Or one of them's about to make... I don't know, there's like someone who doesn't even make their 17 who looks like might be making their international debut.
I thought he was a junior. Is he not a junior?
I don't know.
Oh.
But I think he's a hooker anyway, so he's probably the only hooker that's left. So that's how he made the team.
Well, there you go. Luke.
Do you want to tell us about your 10 that you
Yeah,
selected?
you do the other one because I don't know who that is.
Nah, neither. But he's a rugby player, so we put him in the team, brother. He's Rory from Scotland also. He plays he's a flanker. There we go, flanker. So fit, can play the full 80, get around, make great tackles. Yeah.
Good enough for
Rory.
me.
All right, and then 11, you've got their signing from the Tigers for next year. Isaiah Papali'i.
Liam, I couldn't trade him. There wasn't many offers that I wanted to take, so he's still on the team.
And then we have Isaiah Yeo, who I think was also a Bulldog for 4 nights. He also might have... I think he was pretty close to ending up on like a number of teams, but in the end, we couldn't let him go, so he is the 13th.
Do you want to take 14 since he's technically your pick?
Oh, yeah. De Silva is there.
Tell him De Silva. And then we have Liam Henry, who, if you're a Panthers fan, he is on your team already. Good, young, looks promising.
And then I don't remember the rest of this, but we also got Kurt Capewell. He's back over. To see out the end of his career. Why not come back? Who knows? He might get another ring.
And rounding out is Scott hasn't played for ages because he's always injured. Sorensen.
That's wild.
Bruh, when was the last time he played like 2 consecutive games?
Oh. Yeah, okay, well, you didn't ask me that. I just thought
2
the last time he
consecutive games, brother. Just useless.
No, he's good.
It's taking up cap space.
Just aging. Aging is what he is.
Aging.
Yeah.
He's on more money than Smoothie, isn't he? Or what's his name? Pakes.
Yeah, but
Corey
he also
Pakes.
plays first grade.
When?
I don't know, like 5 weeks ago.
Nah.
Pakes is on 320k and hasn't played all season. And guess what? Not playing next season either.
Sorensen. How many games has Sorensen played?
Oh, I'd open it up on that one.
Feel as though he just got that extension then.
15
His body
appearances,
was like,
apparently.
yeah.
Yeah, all good. How many's Cleary played this year?
But how
Enough
many
to
minutes
get them
has
to
he
the
played?
final.
Bro, look. 8 minutes in that game. Gee. Shocking. Anyways.
Some people just injured, man.
A lot of them. Looking ahead now to Sunday night's grand final game. It is the first place Melbourne Storm taking on the second place Penrith Panthers. 9:30 p.m. kickoff here in Aotearoa. The 3 of us will be up there in Tamaki Makaurau watching live from Sky City. So if you want to watch, go to Sky City, and you might see us there. And I'm putting $30 on black. We'll see how we go. The weather conditions are supposed to be fine, and as we all know by now, there is no Nelson Asofa Solomona. He has been banned for 5 games. Is it 5?
Yeah.
5 games for the Lindsay Collins. It was Lindsay Collins, eh?
Yep.
Headbutt onto Nelson's shoulder.
Yep.
So
Big facts.
interesting that the one who was assaulted, whose shoulder was assaulted by Lindsay's big fat head. Bro, how big is that dome? You know the NFL talk about Guardian caps? Brother, that is just a regular hat for him. It is no good. That boy is ugly. Him and McInnes, like, ugly twins. Anyway, this isn't about the Sharks nor the Roosters. They're both eliminated. What do we do? Do you both just want to have a jam at reading off the lineups, and then we'll just yarn about which team we expect to come out on top and where they need to look to find victory? I guess.
Yeah, we can freestyle it. Not too fast.
Yeah.
Someone read the Panthers.
Yeah, I can read the Panthers. I can do their backs anyway. You're 17 for your reigning, defending 3-time champions. At fullback, you have the superstar Dylan Edwards. On your wing, you have Taruva and To'o. In the centres, it is Isaac Tango and Paul Alamori, who's making his finals debut. In the halves, you have the ever-reliable duo of Jerome Luai and Nathan Cleary. In the forwards, in the props, it is the Bash brothers, the duo of Moses Leota and James Fisher-Harris for one last time. Mitch Kinney is your hooker. Then the second rows, we have Luke Garner, who's paired up with Liam Martin. And then you have the ever-reliable, he's always at least an 8.5 out of 10, Isaiah Yeo, locking it down at 13. To the bench, we have Brad Schneider, who I'm guessing might be coverage for Cleary if things were to go south. You have Lindsay Smith, the future Liam Henry as he's been anointed, and Eisenhuth rounds out your 17. It looks like Casey McLean is the 18th man. Scott Sorensen is named in the 19, so potential late swap there. Maybe if he passes his test. But yeah, so he could be a late inclusion, but that is your Penrith Panthers team, who have made it to 5 straight grand finals and are looking to make it 4 on the trot.
Yep, and your team for the Melbourne Storm at 1, you have Ryan Pappenhausen. On your wings, you have Will Warbrick and Xavier Coates. Your centre pairing is Jack Howarth, Nick Meaney. In your halves, you've got Cam Munster and soon-to-be-announced Dally M winner Jerome Hughes. At 8, replacing the suspended, the assaulted Nelson Asofa-Solomona is Tui Kamikamitha, and Josh King is his other front row partner. You have Harry Nine at hooker. The 2 edges are Sean Bloor, Ali Katoa, and at 13, Trent Liero. Off the bench, you have Tyron Wishart, Christian Welsh, Lazarus Vialepu, and Alec McDonald. Your 18th man is currently Grant Anderson, but Fa'aloga is also named at 22, so potential for him to be the 18th. They're coached by Craig Bellamy.
Nice. Look, 2 outstanding lineups. 2 very strong teams vying to add to their championship wares. Well, I think Melbourne, 5? Is it 5 total for the club?
Was that including the ones that got taken off?
Yeah, 5 official.
I'm actually not sure, eh?
I think I've seen something, and I think Panthers same.
Yeah, they've won 3 in a row. Then they had that one early 2000s, and then had another one in the
90s.
90s, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So 6 maybe. 5 or 6. Yeah, they're up there anyways. So they're looking to add more trophies and rings to the cabinet. Some of the Storm looking to clinch their first championship. Any of these Panthers new to this team that haven't won before?
The only one from the starting lineup would be Paul Alamotti, just because it's his first year there. Off the bench, I don't know. I think they've all been there before, really.
I think
Yeah.
Luke Garner might have missed the final last year.
True that, yeah.
But he'd still technically be part of the grand final squad of that year.
Nah, I think you only get a ring if you're in the
yeah.
17.
Nah,
I'm
no
pretty sure he was
ring, but you're
injured.
still part of that
Oh yeah, part of that
championship year club year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just quickly brought up. I mean, this is a repeat of the final in 2020. So I
Yep.
brought up the team list from that grand final, and I was wondering maybe if we could talk about the difference in the two teams and how much they've changed. But on the base of it, if we just look at the Penrith Panthers, from members who are in that 2020 grand final and are playing on Sunday, we have Dylan Edwards is still there, Brian
Fish.
To'o, Jerome Luai, and Nathan Cleary. So you have 4 of the 7 in your backline, and in the front, and then in the forward, you got James Fisher Harris, Liam Martin, Isaiah Yeo from that team, and then on the bench, you have Moses Leota. So that's what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 players who were in that game 5 years ago. I wonder what effect that will have, having played a Storm team when they were pretty much favourites to win that game. They had won something ridiculous, like 18 games in a row, and they got shocked on that day. Like 22-0 it was at halftime, and they still almost pulled it out at the death. Where you look at the Storm team, it's changed so much. Pep's still there, Munster and Hughes. That's it. The wingers on that day were Vunivalu, Adokar. The centres were Brinkley and Justin Olam. I don't even know if there's a player from the front row or from in the forward pack starting. Christian Welch might be the only one. Is he even in the 17?
Yeah, he's on the bench.
He's on the bench, and then no one from the bench. So literally 1, 2, 3, 4 players for Melbourne Storm were in that team 5 years ago, compared to Penrith, who have 8. So I mean, a lot has changed in 5 years since then, but a lot has kind of stayed the same. So it's going to be interesting, man. I wonder if that. Do we think they'll play into effect? Like, most of the Storm team won't remember that game because none of them played in it. Where you have a large contingent of that Penrith team who played in the game, do you think that that's something that they can pull on? Drawing back those feelings of how they felt in that game, losing that. Because Pep tore them to shreds, and Cameron Smith had a blinder that day, is what I remember. I don't know, do you guys want to talk about that, or do you have any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I definitely think that the Panthers can pull on a lot of that experience and heartache, but how's that saying go? The wolf at the bottom of the mountain's always hungrier than the wolf at the top, because they're having to fight and claw to get their way back to the top of the mountain, whereas the Panthers, they've been sitting there for a couple of years now. However, with those couple of years, they've gained the experience. They know what it takes to win. They've been close to losing and found ways to overcome that and still win. So for the Storm, it is a huge battle. And I think what they have in spades is not the relevancy, but the recency of this year's record. They're 2-0 versus the Penrith Panthers this year. 3-0 would be a very successful year for the Melbourne Storm. I think they can get it done. They've got a team that is playing really well together. They're firing on all 4 cylinders. They have a few weak spots, as does every team. But I think if they stick to their game plan, they're well coached. They've got great halves. Cam Munster has a wealth of winning knowledge. Jerome Hughes has just come into his own this season. Pep, he looks fearless as always. And then you've got the forward pack of the Storm that, I don't know, they're not spectacular, but they can get shit done. You know what I mean? They just find ways to keep ticking the clock over. With that Panthers squad, they're the Penrith Panthers. They're the reigning champs. They're the 3-time, close to 4-time champs for a reason. And for that reason, and that reason alone, they cannot be underestimated. And they should be going into this match the heavy favourite, regardless of the season record. When it comes to the biggest dance of all, doesn't matter how many minutes you come close to winning it all. It's an 80-minute game, and if you don't play the full 80, the Panthers will win.
For me, I don't so much look back on their final just because of how much has changed for Melbourne. It's more last year's game, last year's round 3 game, where I look back and I think the teams are pretty comparable. Like, I think there's only really 2 differences or maybe 3 for the Panthers, and there's not a bunch of changes for the Storm. And last year, the Panthers pumped them. That's kind of where the Warriors, if you go back to the final, it's probably more the experience and the pain of having lost that one for the core players there. Meanwhile, like, there's 4 returners like to the Storm from that, so there's like not a lot there from them. But in terms of the team that lost last year and got pumped by 30 points, there's a lot of pain there. There's a lot of things to kind of pull on from that. So I think last year's game is probably the one that I look at more to talk about, just because Melbourne's going to want some payback for that. And yeah, they've gone 2-0 this year, but like that's embarrassing. That's embarrassing, especially for Melbourne, who have the standards they do and have the history they do in terms of like Craig Bellamy, and then kind of like that spine's been together quite a bit. So it's kind of I look at it that way, where like both teams are still pretty similar, but there is the big inclusion of they didn't have Paps last year, they didn't have Coates last year. They've got them both this year. So
yeah. I mean, you mentioned Paps. He's kind of the one that's been missing the last few years for them. And he's back and he's firing on all cylinders now. So the potential, the X factor he has, because back then, 2019, 2020, there was talk that he was going to be the one to take over from Tedesco. You know, Dylan Edwards wasn't even in the frame. Pep gets one ACL injury done for the year, followed it out with another one. He's gone for 2 years, and Dylan Edwards literally, I wouldn't say he took his spot, he like grabbed it. I mean, he took, he's run with that number 1 now spot, and now it's pretty much his to lose. Pep's kind of been the forgotten man in all of this, but he's back and he might legit be the X factor. I think he's going to play a big role in this game and a major X factor. It might come down to who wins this battle of the ones, Dylan Edwards and Pep. And yeah, so that's one thing that I paid attention to in their last few years that they've matched up, because like you said, Penrith have been pretty dominant in this matchup, but Pep's been missing it for the last few years. They've 2 games right this year. The first one was the opener, which was, I mean, it's the opener. We know Penrith they build into the season, they have the last few years, so they're okay with losing the first few games. They know they'll be right. Where Storm, they come out every season just firing. And then their second game wasn't that Cleary's first game back? And then he got injured again in that game?
Yeah, it was the game where it was just mistake after mistake. Cleary got injured.
I wanted to touch on last week's games for both of them. Do we think, and I know, just get both of your guys' thoughts around how good the Storm were last week, and do we, it's hard to play back-to-back almost perfect games. Like, they were so good. Do we think they'll be able to back up from that? And then maybe talk about the Panthers and how, honestly, they didn't play that great, but they still managed to win. So factoring in, do we think the Storm can play back-to-back really, really good games? And do we think Penrith are going to be that bad in the final? Or do we think they'll lift? I don't know. What are your guys' thoughts?
I think it comes down to conditioning. I think when you look at the Panthers the past few weeks, they've looked a little tired. Champions fatigue, I guess, playing so many more games than everyone else because, obviously playing all the grand finals for the past 5 years now, as well as winning those grand finals and having to play over in England for the World Club Challenge. And then there was a World Cup in the middle of their grand final appearances. So a lot of these players haven't had much rest. And for some of them, being injured is probably the longest breaks they've had from footy, but all of it's been spent on rehabbing. So you can forgive them for looking a little tired and a little worse for wear in previous weeks, but they still managed to win, right? They get you to play in this arm wrestle of a game that suits their speed. They might not be the best team on the footy field, but you're still playing their footy. And I think that's what the Panthers are kind of good at. No matter what stage they're at, whether it's, the first game of the season and they're, meeting you at the line of contact every single play, you're making no meters, or it's at the end of the season where it's becoming an arm wrestle and they're just finding ways to win with their key players. They find ways to get that ball over the line and they find ways to get that ball through the posts. And they've got a lot of next man up mentality. So it doesn't matter who's coming in, they just all do their job as best they can. With Melbourne playing that almost perfect game, it will be hard to back it up. We've seen it, when was it, 2011, the Warriors, right? They played that perfect game versus Melbourne to get into the grand final. And then against Manly, they looked like a bottom team that shouldn't have even been in the grand final. They were, out of their depths. So they can fall off. But I think this Melbourne Storm team's too good. I think they'll be able to hang on there. Off the back of some Munster brilliance, some Hughes brilliance, some Pat brilliance. Somehow they'll get a call around the ruck with Harry, because Harry tries to key in on some of those things, sometimes a little bit too much, some would say. But I don't think it's out of their league, another big performance like that. I think that's what Craig's coached them to do, is to put together big performances like this week after week after week. I think they can do it. It's just going to take a lot of guts, a lot of courage, and a lot of mental resolve. You'll definitely get to see two of the best coaches going head to head, and I think it'll come down to sort of who can make those adjustments. If it's becoming a Penrith arm wrestle, what can Bellamy do to spark that brilliant Storm offense that we've seen so much this season? Both games that we've seen, Storm v Panthers, have been tough fought battles. Game 1 of the year was 8-0 to Melbourne Storm. The second one, can't remember the final score. I just know it was a very sloppy game. It was a Thursday night banger, and it was filled with errors. So in order for either one of these teams to win, we'll have to limit however many errors they have, and I think that'll come down to fatigue and whether or not Storm are a little more fatigued from last week's perfect performance, or the Panthers are licking their wounds from champions fatigue.
I look at last week's performance. I don't think Melbourne will be all that fatigued from it, because it wasn't. At least to me, it didn't seem like a very fatiguing game for them, because they dominated the possession. It just seemed like there were large portions of that game where they kept the ball away from the Roosters, or the Roosters made little mistakes that kind of gave them the chance to kind of keep putting the pressure on them. Meanwhile, I don't think they're going to be able to do it to the Panthers, because the Panthers just, outside of probably 10 minutes in that game against the Sharks, they don't make the mistakes. Like, they like to keep it in the arm wrestle. So I kind of think, do we potentially see it where, like, Melbourne just kicks to the sideline a bit more than they do keeping the ball in play? Because I think if they go down the arm wrestle route, like, the Panthers are going to get them. Because there's one thing we do see is that it's not often, but the Storm do fatigue at parts, and then they get real easy to cut open. So I do think, like, are we going to see where maybe it's a tackle 3 kick, Edwards is slightly out of position, and they just try to kick it out of. They try to kick it down, but they also try to kick it out rather than go for like a 40-20. Something that just kind of like something to stop the play, something to just kind of like allow them to reset. Like even if it's 30 to 40 seconds, just to get a little break throughout the game. Because I think it was the Eels. It might have been the Eels Panthers where the Eels did that, and it was a real stop-start game. And that's what Luai said at halftime when he got interviewed, was like, oh, the ball just hasn't been in play. And that's what we really wanted in the second half. We want the ball to be in play. We want to fatigue them. And we want to like get our openings that way. So part of me does think, is that what the Storm's going to do, where they're just going to like try get as many stoppages as they can to like, yes, like allow them to rest and reset, but also to kind of take out what the Panthers' biggest advantage is.
Yeah, it's good from both views. And then I guess one other thing that I wanted to touch on before we go into like who's going to win and why or how was both these teams have a knack for getting up for each other, right? We talk about every time there's a big game, like a milestone game for Melbourne Storm, how they're able to just turn it on, and they almost never lose those games. But they're going up against a Penrith team who are losing key members: Jerome, Luai, Taruva, James Fisher-Harris. This is their last game in their jersey. So you kind of have it on both sides. I mean, that is extra added motivation for me personally. Like, you shouldn't need any more motivation. Like, it's the final. All you ever ask for is a shot at it, you know? And you just let the chips fall where they may. You try to stick to your game plan and whatever. But the added motivation, because who's hitting the milestone game for the Storm? They do have a player, right?
It's Hughes. It's his 150th.
Look at that. You have the Dali M, more than likely the Dali M winner playing his 150th game in the grand final. So you know that the Storm team are going to get up for that. You got that and going up against Luai, Taruva, Fisher-Harris in their last game in the Panthers uniform forever. Well, maybe not forever. They might come back.
I don't think Harris is coming back.
Based on what he's saying,
He's staying here in Aotearoa, and then he's migrating and going bush forever.
Good on him. Yeah. Just wondering, like, if there's something there that they can tap into to give them extra motivation. Although, in my eyes, you really shouldn't need it. Like, you're on the biggest stage. You're in the final, mate. You know, if you need 150th to get up when you're in the final, like, don't even get off the bus. Like, you need your headspace in the right space. But yeah, I guess, do we just go into it? Like, who do you think is going to win? I guess, like, who's your prediction before we do the TAB thing, and maybe where you see them winning or how you think they'll win?
Well, what is it? 27 plus. What has it been? 3-4 weeks since the end of the round.
Yeah.
4 weeks? 3 weeks? 4 weeks.
4 weeks. Yeah, 4 weeks.
Plus 2 weeks of pre-season, eh?
Yep.
So 43 weeks ago, I put on at the TAB Melbourne versus Brisbane grand final. Melbourne outright winner. Only one of those two teams made it to the grand final, and only one of those bets still remain. Regardless of form, regardless of how they've been going, I'm just sticking to my one bet. If anything off these 43 weeks, if I can win one TAB big play and payday, this is it. This is the longest game we've ever played. Is the season picking the outright winner from the start of the season. This is it. So I'm going with Melbourne. However, if I'm looking at how this game could go, it's going to be one off intensity and who's wanting to win that intensity the most. You've already got two players that actually just don't like each other, in Cameron Munster and Liam Martin. They didn't even get along when they were in the same colour jersey. There's a genuine distaste for one another. And you would expect to see the hitman go after Munster early and often. I think if the Storm get lured into the trap of headhunting Cleary, they're going to lose sight of the actual goal. The goal isn't to eliminate their best player. The goal is to win this game. I think the Panthers, their resolve and their ability to just find ways to win make them a deadly team. However, last year they had Critter help get them over the line. You can't tell me Paul's doing that. Paul! You're telling me Paul is going to do a Critter-like performance? Hell nah. Name like Paul. Edwards. He's a little shaky looking, man. Edwards, he's not 100%, man, because he's running on low HP. He'd be out there in defense mode. He can't play attack. He got to be in defense mode. So there's a lot of things like that play into the Storm's hand. But man, these guys, they've got that championship mentality. They've got that winning mentality. They know how to get it done. And when the lights are the brightest, that's when they step up the most. Doesn't matter how many tries you score, they'll always score just one more. Yeah, man. I want to say Melbourne, and I really want to believe it. But the Panthers have got a storyline in themselves. So many players leaving. This is the last time this core group will play together in the same club jersey, potentially for the rest of their careers. So this is it. They've come through juniors together. They've gone from like grabbing ice cream cones at Macca's at the mall to winning grand finals and ruining the Bros' weddings together. But they've done it together. And yeah, look, I'll go Panthers. And it's Clive Churchill medal, eh?
Yeah.
I'll give Clive Churchill if the Panthers win. I'll give it to Isaiah Yeo.
Ooh.
I think Cleary might be a little bit injured. And I think Yeo will step up and direct the play a lot more than what we're used to seeing in grand finals. His form has been on point lately. And I think he should get some recognition that he'll deserve. So yeah, I'm going Yowie, and we're going Panthers 1-12 at the big dance.
I've been so certain of it for a long time that it's the Storm because I want to hate the Panthers so much. But the more I think about it, the more I'm convinced it'll be a tight game. And just one thing we've kind of seen from the Panthers, and especially Cleary, all season long, like when Cleary's been available, he just ices these little moments.
Yep.
There's times where like I just don't understand. I don't understand how it happens.
He's a freak, that's why.
Which is why it feels really stupid to pick against him, even if I don't know if he's actually going to play the whole game. And then I've got last year's 38-4 game in my head, and that's a tough one to pick against.
Yep.
But Jerome, brother, you've been unreal this year. Money looked shot for most of this year, and in the finals has been unreal. Harry does some stuff you just don't really expect, I guess. I don't know if it's because of with Harry, I've seen him since his first year because he was with the Tigers. So there's kind of like stuff that I see him do that like not a lot of other hookers do. I'm kind of like, kind of that guy. But then he does stuff and I'm like, I don't understand how you really did it. like there's just certain positions I feel like he shouldn't be in. He somehow is. I don't know, man.
I agree.
I'm going to take the Storm. And that's purely because until 5 years ago, Ivan wasn't looked at as a great coach. He was in the running for the longest, the most games coached without having won a premiership. That's what he was in 5 years ago. Now he's considered one of the best coaches. And it's also kind of, like, as you said, right? It's the last ride. Some people say the Storm, when they beat Penrith in their final, they started all this run for the Panthers. Oh, hey, your last ride, you can go out the way it started. It's a loss to the Storm. I'm going to take the Storm to win. God, no, I'm just going to pick them head to head. And then player of the game, was it Clive?
Yeah.
No show Nico.
That's outrageous that he's on there.
Yes, sorry.
Clive, I'm gonna go. No, it's too out the gate to say him. Even though I've really liked him all this season, I'm gonna take Harry Grant.
Harry Grant, eh? Yes, look, I'm kind of like Hughes. This game could go either way. I just think it could match up and be potentially one of the best finals we've seen in recent memory. It's got all the makings of the classic. You have the two best teams from the last however long it's been. Literally the best team in the last 4 years. Dynasty, as you would. And you touched on it. A lot of people believe this dynasty started when they lost their final. I think so. I think they used the loss of that final to fill them the following year. And from then on out, they've just been on a tear that I don't think you can compare it to any team in recent memory. But in terms of who's winning this game, man, I've been going back and forth. The Storm played so well. I kind of had them as the favourites after last weekend's games. Slightly ahead of the Panthers, but then with the loss of Nelson and Safa Solomona, kind of swung me back towards the Panthers. But I also think it would be just poetic for the dynasty to start with a loss to the Storm, and then for it to end by the hands of the Storm as well. Looking across the board, I think it's pretty evenly matched. But I think the one X factor is Pep and his speed. I think he might cause havoc during this final. And I actually think for that reason, I'm also going with the Storm. I don't know how I settled on them. I think I just flipped the coin. But I'm going to go with the Storm as well to win it in a close one. And I'm going with Pep to be the Clive Churchill winner. And that's going to close the chapter, or close the book on this chapter of the NRL. And yeah, the Storm are your winners.
Okay. That's not bad. Sorry, I was just watching these live updates. Hughesy was number one, dropped down. Kerry Evans is now leading the way.
Bro, am I behind?
Mate, nah.
Oh, I think I was behind.
Are you on that other channel again?
Nah, I was only they were up to the girls.
Oh.
I think like round 7 of the girls. That's where I
Yeah.
was at.
We're
At
up to
round
round
18.
18 of the men's.
Oh
round
shit!
18.
So I've missed like everything.
At
Oh
round
no.
18, Hughesy was number 1, and then now he's dropped down to 3rd, I think, behind
Yeah.
Tedesco.
Tedesco and who's the other one? DCE.
Yeah.
Fucking old money.
By 3 points, I think. There's a difference, is 3 points between Hughes and DCE.
But DCE, did he make the team like the shortlist for halfbacks?
Yeah, I
Like
think so.
finalists for team of the year?
I think it's him, Hunt, and
Hughes.
Hughes.
Wait, Hunt made it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Hey man, those kicks to Lomax.
Doesn't Ben Hunt have like 30 or something try assists this year?
Yeah, because of Lomax. So yeah, look, it's going to be a closely contested grand final. Potentially, going down as two of the greatest coaches competing against one another, with one of the greatest dynasties and one of the greatest legacy teams still producing. What is it? 3 decades now? The Storm have managed to win. Oh no, 2010. Who won 09? Storm?
Oh, I don't know. There was only like late 2000s, early 2010s where they made like 4 in a row. Was it?
When they had GI and
Yeah.
shit. Yeah,
09, Storm won.
09, yeah. So 09, then they won in the 2010s. We already know that. So if they win here, this is 3 decades of dominance.
Yeah. That's what I didn't bring up before because I don't know how much time we had. Was talking about like the effect on this game's on players' legacy and on coaches' legacy. Like just looking at Cleary alone, if he wins this,
oh yeah.
How close is he to already being the GOAT?
Well, he's 100% an immortal after he retires if he wins this. In terms of being the GOAT, man, if he can get through one more healthy season, I'll give it to him. I just want to see him play a little bit more, I just want to see some more stats go up. I'm not saying he's like never going to make it. He's definitely on a trajectory to be the out and out lone soldier, greatest of all time rugby league player. Is just the things he's able to do with the ball in hand, ridiculous.
I mean, yeah, fair enough. Then I don't know, looking at someone like what about like Hughes? Where would another ring put him, considering the fact that he might win Dally M in terms of like greatest sevens to have, like be a Kiwi?
He's the G-Mote, the greatest Māori of all time. I put him up there with Maui, one of the greatest Māoris of all time, my bro.
Paolo's like, where's he going with
I'll put him up there, yeah, man. He's up there with Maui, with
G-Mode.
yeah, man, the greatest Māori of all time. Who else he up there with? He could be up there with Rangi and Papa. Yeah, man, can't get much bigger than Rangi and Papa.
You're saying like daddy's names. When you said Maui, the first name that come to me was Maui Paumare. I was like thinking of like those names, and then when you said Rangi, I was thinking of Rangi Nui Walker. I don't know why but you were like Rangi. I was like, oh.
Yeah, can't get much bigger than that, man. Can't get much bigger than that. I think that's what would happen to his legacy, man. One more ring. Throw a Dally M in there as well. Brother, he's potentially you do all that. Greatest Kiwi that's played in a 7 jersey.
Yeah. Well, who's it between him? Stacey. I guess SJ's more of a 6, right?
SJ's more of a not on the list anymore. Sorry, cuz. You didn't get the Dally M.
Yeah, I mean, how different that would have been, right? If he had the Dally M.
If he got it, then he's up here. He's like
Because
What is
RTS
that
is the
either?
only one to do it, right? For the Kiwis to get the Dally M and Golden Boot.
Yeah. But if Sean did it, he'd be like the Gawat, the greatest Asian of all
Yeah, I
time.
knew. I was like, I knew you were going there.
How many other Asian brothers are there jamming league?
Nah, he's definitely the GOAT in terms of that. I never think it's
Yeah,
close.
hard. He's a trailblazer.
I don't think there's another
Imagine
one.
like Yao Ming jamming some league because of Sean Johnson. That'd be crack up.
Yeah, oh, man.
Who else's legacy will take a hit if they don't? Like, do you think anyone? I don't think the Panthers take a legacy hit them like individually or as a team if they lose this grand final. They've made 3 in a row. Like they've won 3 in a row.
3 in a row and then made 5 in a row. Okay, well, you talk about like the team, but what about the coaches, right? Do you think it will have like that notch, or they would bring Cleary's resume down just a little bit, knowing that both the finals he's lost is to Craig Bellamy?
Yeah, a little bit. But on that other side, if he wins, he potentially goes down as the greatest coach of all time. Ain't no one won 4 grand finals straight.
In a row, eh? That is just
Didn't the
crazy.
Like that's
Dragons win 10?
straight. Eh?
Didn't the Dragons win 10 or 11?
Yeah, when they're like playing part timers. Get up, Critter! Sorry, Fano, Critter just got named Captain of the Year.
Yeah, well, everyone's seen that coming.
Absolute,
But
absolute shock.
you can't claim that, man, because
That's
there
my
was
bulldog.
like plumbers playing. They weren't paid athletes.
Well, they
They were
part-timers.
plumbers, builders, and part-time cricketers.
Yeah, all good.
Different time.
Different era.
Yeah,
We
different.
don't claim that.
That era is that era. This era is
Yeah.
this era.
We were
I
just
don't know,
like,
I consider all of it.
it's not impressive when you're playing 4 teams. Of course, you make the grand finals. There's only 3 others.
I just like 10 in a row, 11 in a row.
Not impressive when there's
That's
only 4
impressive.
tems.
That's impressive, man.
You got
Regardless.
like a 25% chance to not make it.
All good.
Now you've got like a
It's high
fucking 90% chance not to make it.
Hey, man. What can I say? Just 11 in a row is 11 in a row.
Plus, I don't think that counts because it's not in the NRL era.
I still consider it. I still consider it. I don't know. Just the conversation about Cleary is... It's tough with how far it's swung. Because
What you mean?
because 5 years ago, he was in that running for the longest running coach to have not won a grand final. So 4 years later, because he won 4 in a row, now suddenly he's the greatest.
Winning does
Yeah,
that.
well, like, not many coaches have won 4 in a row, let alone made 5 finals in a row. So
Not
would you
many
say
have won
fairly-
4, period.
fairly. I mean, of course, it's going to swing. That's the most dominant 5-year stretch we've seen by any team.
I mean, we have Melbourne for 20.
And how many of those 20s have they won? They made 4 finals in a row, right?
Are we talking
And then they won.
construct?
Did they have another stretch where they made like multiple finals in a row?
Yeah, I think it was them versus the Roosters like every freaking year.
Because there was that stretch where they got the strip titles. They played Manly in back-to-back years, I think. And then the Broncos in 06. Wasn't it from like 06, 7, 8, and 9 they made the finals?
Yeah, let me find out.
So that stretch there, yeah. And then you got is it after the 2015 final? 2016 they lost to the Sharks. 2017 they won. 2018 they lost to the Roosters? Or was it 2019 they lost to the Roosters?
2019 they lost.
And then 2020.
They won.
Huh.
Oh, fuck, I've lost count. I'm just seeing how many finals they've made. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I don't know. I think it's deserved, man. Like we said, it's unheard of in the modern era to make 5 in a row and win. Currently, 90% of the grand finals entered, they've won. You know,
And I don't know. I don't even know if the Storm were as dominant as this were during that reign.
Well, the Storm,
Yeah.
Storm since 2006 have 9 finals.
Yeah.
9 finals appearances. Like, that's a pretty good run.
That's
So-
what, every second year?
Oh, the math
Right,
is-
2006. That would be 18 years.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it's just
That's
kind of
pretty-
like, I guess I'm more consistency rather than the period.
Well, how long does consistency go for you? 10 years.
Well,
Is
Well,
5 years not
like-
consistent enough?
yeah.
no, because with 5 years, right, you get the right run with the right players, like we saw. Like it's seemingly the same with the Storm, right, where they had Smith, they had Slater, they had Kronk,
Mm-hmm.
right, but then they chewed the salary cap.
How many coaches have taken the Warriors to a grand final?
The Warriors are the Warriors.
2. Ivan and that other fella. And Ivan played in that other one. Which is also hella impressive, right? To take the Warriors to a grand final. And now to take the Panthers to 5.
Hey man, was the Panthers?
Just because you
was
couldn't
it
turn
fun?
your Tigers around. No one can. And that's been proven.
Hey.
It
Now-
wasn't on
now-
him.
Oh, it definitely was on him. Some of those goddamn contracts he signed were on him.
I thought you said it was front office. They do all the
No,
contract signing.
those
That's what you told
contracts
me
were-
when to come to the Brisbane Broncos. Come on now.
With
There's a
Madge, it
consistency,
was.
my guy.
With Madge, it was because those contracts came from the front office and Ivan. I'm not talking about the Tigers right now because I'm gonna get real pissed off. That's the whole thing why I refuse to go there with Ivan. Some of those contracts, his fault. Some of them, most of them, definitely the front office is for saying, yes, you can offer those contracts.
Yeah, but still, you can't knock him for his time in the
Yes,
Tigers when no one's been able
depends.
to turn that team around.
Oh no, I don't knock him for that. I'm just saying, for me, what Craig Bellamy has done at a club that was new when he got there, that to me is far more impressive than what the Panthers have done. Even though, like, yes, for 5 years they've made the grand finals, they've won 3 in a row. If they win 4 in a row, for me, the longevity is the more impressive part.
Okay. Right. Fair enough.
What's going on now?
Looks like Scotty Prince just got named.
Yeah, which is fair enough.
Who does he
The
coach?
Broncos.
Oh.
That's my team. That's my team.
What's he saying? Fuck Stacey Walker, you just had to get
Hey,
injured, eh?
straight up. Straight
Ah,
up.
couldn't just keep
All
playing
the
and win us
accolades,
this
my brat.
time.
That all needs to go
Ouch.
to Stace, man. She is the NRLW, man. Hey. And if Portia comes, she's going to be the face. You know, even Gail, she's made the team of the year. Gail Broaden.
You're not
Like
surprised?
the players' team of the year. Yeah, it was Gail, Stacey, our other winger, Robinson. That's her name. Something Robinson. Yeah, good team, that one.
What
I like
else?
Romy. Romy, I can't say her last name either, but Romy, she's a good player too. Queenslanders, though. Ugh. Also, that's a question I was going to ask you as well. So, I feel like we've talked enough about the Storm as we can. There are current investigations now going on up in Brisbane as to how long ago did they reach out to Madge, because everyone's saying you can't just sack a coach and have a new one on Monday. That is way too quick. So yeah, there's investigations going on there. What are your guys' thoughts on that?
I mean, I'm always of the thinking if you're sacking a coach, you better have a plan, or at least have someone in mind. So, yeah, I mean, doesn't help how quick it happened. It was a quick turnaround. But I don't know. I feel even if they do look into it, I don't think they'll find anything. To me, it's looked all above water. And what are they going to get investigated for? Like, what other team's going to be like? Or other like non-coaches who didn't get the job be like, oh, I could have interviewed for the role. Fuck, they weren't even looking at you. Like, you know?
Yeah. That's
I
my
don't know.
thing.
Well, what are they meant to?
What? Like what? Who's looking? Because I haven't actually seen any of this. Who's looking into it?
The New South Wales Rugby League and Kevin, they both launched individual investigations on their own. New South Wales are a bit confused
Are they
as
upset?
to where it come from.
Yeah.
They are. They're upset because I think they wouldn't be upset if the bro didn't win in a convincing fashion this series. They would have let him go easily if he wasn't that way inclined. And then Kevy's just upset that he got let go in the manner that he did. Does Ivan finally make it? Oh, he's not even showing up. Ah, that's a bold move.
Bellamy. Yeah,
That's
fair enough. Can't even be
migraine.
mad at it. Well,
Oh, he knew.
I'm
Ivan knew.
surprised.
Bro, that is suave. He's blacked out
Yes, sir.
with the, what is that, velvety material?
Yeah.
Bruh.
How many is that for him?
Too many.
Not enough.
Do you reckon he cares? They're probably sitting underneath his desk. It's a paperweight. His muckle probably plays with it. She probably goes, Pucker, what's this? Our girl, put it back.
He just keeps doing it, eh?
Yeah, man. You know what he's lacking at the moment?
What?
More good Kiwi young forwards. Keyword is young. He should be
You
back
could say
over
they
here.
were just as important to that dynasty. The likes of the Jesse, like the Bromwich brothers.
boys.
Because, man, they weren't any good
Proctors.
until their fucking forwards. And I think that was a big reason why I wasn't as mad at the Storm as other people were, because I was like, bro, they got the Kiwis forward pack. Like,
Yeah.
I feel as though they're winning because they got our forward pack. Like, you look, when they come to the Kiwis, like, we do really, really good. And it was during that time where we were actually, like, beating Aussie, like, you know, like, quite consistently. So, yeah, I never really wasn't as mad as other people were getting mad at the Storm was winning, because I was like, bro, the Jesse Bromwich, fucking the Bromwich brothers, Proctor was there, Tohu Harris when he was young. I was like, fuck those teams.
Hawks.
Nelson, I think, might have
see?
just started. Bro, I'll tell you,
lacking.
tangent for a moment. The first time I ever seen Nelson Asafa Solomon play, it was Storm against Manly, and I watched this big ass kid jump on. I didn't know who he was, and he just like was just next level, so good. I remember thinking, fuck, they got another Aussie like coming through out of nowhere. I was like, bro, if this kid's young, he's just gonna dominate for like the next 10 years. Come to find out he's from Wallies and Kiwi, and I was like, oh my goodness. Like, how the hell did they get this kid? There's not many forwards that like I've seen be that young and just dominant. I mean, Payne Haas comes to mind. But you know, like, I just remember watching him, and it was Manly too. I think this was the time. I mean, Manly have always had good forwards, but he just almost single-handedly just. I'd never seen it, and I just remember thinking, "Fuck, they got another one." Couldn't believe it when I found out he was here for Wallies. Oh, what could have been? That guy really could have potentially been one of the greatest forwards.
Nelly from Wellies.
Yeah, I don't know if it was like a. Like, do you think he has reached his potential?
He's aging now. He's what?
Yeah, like
30?
we know, like obviously, do we think he's past his prime or like in his prime? But like,
I think he's in it towards the end.
did he maximize his?
Yeah. Like, do we hit the ceilings we know that he should have or could have?
He could have been so much better.
He could have been one of the greats. He could have been talked about the way they talk about Arthur Beetson.
I knew you were going to bring up a fate the minute you said it. I was like, he's bringing up Arthur Beetson.
He could have been the moldy somehow. Arthur Beetson.
Man.
What is his Iwi? Because he played for the Maldives. That threw me. I'm like, gee, where?
Yeah, I didn't see that one coming as well.
Like,
I
I thought
guess
straight up he was like Samoan.
because I'm assuming we all have like in like hierarchy of like Kiwi forwards, taking out like Ruben Rick and all that, just on the ones that were in his generations, right? I guess if we're going off pure potential, do we think he should have been better than the likes of James Fisher Harris, Joey Tarpon? Like you put those three,
Yeah,
he should have been like the best out of all of them.
yeah.
Like if he maxed out, I felt like the other two have kind of maxed out, or like but like elite maxed out. Like their worst games are like 7 out of 10s.
Yeah, because he's got raw potential plus plays with one of the greatest coaches of all time. That's a recipe for should have been elite.
Because now, would we safely say that those two are like S tier, and he's like A? I would say A plus tier though.
Yeah, it's like he's not too far off.
Like I wouldn't say he's too far off them, but I do feel those two have gone past him.
That's just because they're consistent.
Yeah. See, I'm hit and miss on Nelson because if he's consistent and he's playing to his best, A plus absolutely. But
Without doubt.
does he have some stinkers?
Oh.
And that's kind of where I'm like, A plus.
We cut. We're back. They're about to announce the Dally M medalists, so join us. We're just going to run some commentary. Gee, silly was.
I don't like this chick in the middle.
Which one?
The one in the gold dress.
You don't like Isabel Kelly?
I couldn't tell you which one it is.
That's the one in the gold.
Is that not the one I just said?
Yeah, that's Isabel Kelly.
Yeah.
You don't like her?
No, that's not what I said.
Oh, what did you say? You do like her?
Yeah, good work.
Silly. Yeah, her man's is the S&C coach on the Roosters. Church.
1 point. No longer in the race.
Oh, so it's just literally the last round. Look at them all laughing. Fuck, that'd be.
Gee, if you say 1 point no longer in the races, don't even say me.
Koenig against Church. The Roosters win, however the back rower doesn't poll any points. Abby Church, 1 point. Which means winning by 2 points. Olivia Kernick from the Sydney Roosters is your 2024 NRL.
Congrats, girl. Well done. Well done, Olivia Koenig. Dally M medalist. Is this her first?
Never heard the name before, so got to assume.
Shouldn't they name their Dally M medal after, like, a female?
Look, maybe in a few years, they'll get there.
Shouldn't it be like the Ruan S medal?
Fuck, she's tall.
She's wearing heels.
Yeah, but even then, she's still tall.
What does this moment mean to you? Yeah, well, I definitely didn't expect that this year, so sort of caught off guard. But I think this year with the women's NRL has really proven, and we've really produced a really good product this year. And it's,
Bro, yeah, are we allowed to have their like audio playing in the back?
Yeah.
So grateful.
Bro, what are they gonna do?
We're commentating over it. It's the music we can't. The music gets flagged straight away.
As a huge part of this Roosters forward pack, you've become the leader of this team.
But don't worry. Once the Dally M gets announced, then we'll cut to this. Parents, sorry, I'm not cutting any of this whānau. Listening at home. Skip. I'll tell you when to skip how many minutes. Currently, 2 minutes.
Done an excellent job over the last few years.
They yarn for so long.
I'm gonna grab a drink. I'll be back.
Is that her dad? Or was that the partner?
No, that's the coach. That's Jasmine's dad. That's Jasmine and Ethan's dad.
Oh, yes.
She's been taking photos of you up here the whole time. Yes, she's my
That's a mana mum. That's a mana mum there. Even in the women's
Or is
game,
that
the mum
Angus's
still
partner
hold
in the
it
back
down.
there?
Next to you.
Behind the mum.
Oh, I didn't see.
Yeah, that definitely helped this year. Millie,
Why is Adam the only one not wearing black?
Because it's Adam for no black.
Yeah, man.
Who's gonna tell him no?
Probably Internal Affairs of Australia. He looked like a 501, my boy.
Yeah, like
Man.
I said, really grateful and honoured to
Imagine that,
get
eh?
this award and
Gets in trouble over there.
really grateful to
Has to play for the Warriors, who gets 501.
providing me the opportunity. I think I really
Could you imagine him still on Manly?
my coach. He's really helped me over the
Nah.
last few years and helped me
Jesus.
develop as a player on and off the field.
I don't think he's in the NRL if he stays at Manly.
Well done, Olivia Kernick. Congratulations on your season.
Are the Roosters in the finals? They are, right?
Yeah, Roosters, Sharks. The two teams that got eliminated last week.
Well, it's time to announce the Dally M NRL
Oh, here we go.
2024 medal winner. After 25 years,
Daily
Jerome
Cherry
is
efforts.
first on 56 points and James Tedesco is second on 53 points. As Tedesco is your fullback and Hughes is your halfback of the year, that rules out any of the other NRL players left in the top 10. So now we're down to a race just between the two of them, Jerome Hughes and James Tedesco.
Look at Lachlan Coote. He just wants to give it to frickin' Tedesco.
Round 26,
Ron Coote.
Jerome Hughes was rested against the Cowboys, 0 points.
Imagine if that cost him.
Jesus.
Imagine if it cost him, eh? Bellyache.
The Roosters lose to the Raiders, but Teddy runs for 200 metres. He gets 2 points.
Ooh.
Now to round 27. The
Come
last
on.
game of the year, and it all comes down to this. Both players
Who you reckon's going to do the Haka for?
in the Roosters win over South Sydney, James Tedesco scores 2 tries and has 2 try assists. James Tedesco scores.
Fuck.
Tedesco now has a 5-point lead.
Oh my goodness.
That's too
The
much.
Storms win over the Brisbane Broncos. Jerome Hughes scored 3 tries, had 4 line breaks, and 2 try assists. Jerome Hughes scored.
6.
Yes.
Winner of 2020.
No robbing us this year.
Well done.
Get
well done.
up.
Melbourne cleaned up with the awards night. Bellamy with the coach.
Yeah.
All 3 players that were nominated managed to make Dally M Team of the Year. Oh no. Warbrick didn't make the winger. He was nominated.
What a cliffhanger, Jerome.
Shut up, let him talk.
Congratulations. Season of your life. Your kicking game, your running game, the direction, the leadership, the influence that you've had. I think we're a little
Gotta
bit
cut
slow
all
to
this.
realise that
7
you are
minutes.
now the best player in the
Timestamp it.
NRL and you head into another grand final with the
Alright.
Dally medal round.
Last 2 Dally M winners, eh? Happen to both be Māori.
Quite surreal, to be honest. I didn't
Huh? Oh yeah,
think
KP.
I'd ever get the opportunity to win this award, and yeah, it's sort of got butterflies at the moment. It's kind of weird, but yeah, I'm so honoured to be able to win it, and yeah, I'm kind of speechless, to be honest. Sorry.
No, don't say sorry. Your journey has been such an extraordinary one. You worked so hard just to get a start at the Titans, the Cowboys.
Why does he get questioned?
You ended up at Melbourne, and you thought you were
Belichick, she just had a speech.
And it wasn't until Craig Bellamy thought,
Because they know the Māori probably won't be saying much. You got to keep him talking, ask him questions. Eh?
Have you seen him on the podcast? That is Paps talking.
Bro, she's yapping. Heaps.
I never thought I'd be a halfback in the NRL, to be honest. Thought I was a fullback until a guy called Pappenhausen took my spot, and I had to find a spot somewhere else in the team, and Craig made it halfback, and yeah, it was a bit of a different transition. I never really played in the halves too much, but he just told me not to change my game too much, just stick to my strengths, and would have to learn a few different things, and I've done that with help from a few people. I can hear Coots, he's he's whistling at me trying to...
There might be one of the greatest things he's ever done as coach, like turning Cooper Cronk and this guy into halves.
Become a halfback, but there's been a lot of coaching stuff as well, so super grateful.
That's next level.
Jerome, this is your moment. I'm sure that there are a lot
It
of
was
people
Cronk
that helped
centre.
you along the way and people
He
that you
definitely
haven't
wasn't a
made,
half.
shout out to help you being standing here on the stage.
And now he's
and
gone down as one of the greatest halves of all time.
Yeah, thanks, Von. Yeah, I'd just like to thank first the Melbourne Storm for this club, Belzer, Frank, the owners and the players for, I guess, getting me to where I am today. Without that club, I wouldn't be here for sure. I know that for sure. So I'm super grateful for them and forever in their debt. My family, my mum, dad, my sisters, my nieces and nephews, they've been such a massive support for myself. And there's a few times where I wasn't keen to carry on the rugby league dream when I was younger, and they kept me at it. So I need to thank them for everything they've done. My beautiful wife, Mole, she's been with me through it all as well. So I definitely wouldn't be here if it wasn't for her. So thanks so much. All the coaches I've had over the years coming through, they've all played their part, and even my
Far
school
all
teachers,
Māori
I've had a
say
couple of good school
heap
teachers
say.
as well that's taught me a lot at Hughes. So I want to thank them
It's
as well.
that training, eh?
And just the players, I think, especially the boys this year.
Come on, Joey, this is where you rallied in for the Haka now, don't you?
Gee, why does To'o look like he's about to sing a Boys to Men song?
It's definitely the guys that I play
'Cause
with
he is,
throughout
that's
that
why.
season
Just his
do my
look.
job, and they give me confidence to lead the team, and that's really helped me this year. And I probably don't want to give them a rap, but even Fish, Taps, and the Kiwi boys as well last year, they installed a lot of confidence in me in the Pacific Champs, and I've taken them into this year. So they've really helped me grow my game as well. So thanks to those guys. Thank you.
No Haka?
Congratulations to Jerome Hughes from the Melbourne Storm.
Look,
and
Joey's
Olivia
looking.
Kernick from the Sydney Roosters. Your 2024
Albie.
Best and Fairest Dalian medalist. We'll get you both at the centre of the stage for our final shot. And that concludes our coverage of the 2024 Dalian medal.
Oh, there you go. Oh, shots out. Willie Warbrick.
Yeah, boy. Thought the Stacey might jump in.
Hard. Shoot. He got a Haka from an Olympian. Shoot. Shout out to
The
Willie Warbrick for that one.
brothers. Yeah, he's in the Kiwis team now.
Yeah, hey. He's leading
Solidified
that
his
Haka.
spot on the wing.
I promise you, he was not getting a bet on for mine. I was not putting money on him to lead the Haka.
Bro, but makes sense because who else would have done it? There was no one else there.
Yeah, I think if Tapane wasn't up there, he would have, but because he was already there.
He was like, oh, shit.
I swear I could see him looking. I was like, he must be giving a signal to someone to like start.
Adam, what are you doing, my cuz? You grew up here. Give some money, my G.
He's talking now.
Anyways, Will Warbrick, bruh, low-key should have stayed in Union now because he could be leading the All Blacks. Like, oh, I'm sick of TJ Perenara's high-pitched one. That doesn't do it for me, G. Not one.
Nah,
But,
you need a high pitch.
He's played his last one.
yeah, thank God.
It's going to be
who's up
Cody
next?
leading it.
Oh, fuck. He's not any better either.
Cody did
Who
go
else we
high
got?
pitch when he led it, eh?
Yeah.
Might be
Well,
Kena
well,
Ratiman do it.
I guess that's all he's learned from, right? High pitch.
Cortez
Rati,
might do it. Yeah.
Yeah, he could give it a go. Rico, he always seems to go hearty with the pukana. Can he actually deliver the puku?
When we need someone to do that pukana, that's a staple, you
That's a
know.
staple.
That's a signature. You know what I mean?
Who do you reckon would lead it then? If it's not Ratima, who else we got?
It's Cody.
Nah,
Yeah,
who else we got?
probably is Cody.
It's
Cody,
Cody.
What about
Cortez.
Samaiti?
It's Cody.
Yeah.
I just hate how they always give it to senior players. Like, give it to the best person. Like, fuck. Stop giving us a bot Haka. That's how you know it's
How-
white lead, eh? That's how you know it's white lead.
How thrown would you be if for the next one you just see Scott Barrett?
What
Why
if
not?
it's
He's
white
molding.
lead?
Ay.
You know
About
what gets
time
me
the
though?
captain led it.
It's that V shape. That's when I knew it was white British shit. Why are we making that V shape, man? Why we put the
What?
whitest guy at the front? They barely know the actions.
Put the captain at the front.
Yeah, that's what it was. The white guy.
Yeah. Man, gotta put the leader there.
Nah.
Yeah.
Not a fan of how they do the Haka, eh?
Nah. No, it's over. It's
I'm a
a
big fan.
commercialized product. It's not actually. There's zero money in that. It is a
What?
rehearsed product to sell AIG insurance.
I do think they do it pretty well though.
Nah. I want to see the walk up to halfway get in their face, like the Kiwis do to the Kangaroos. I want to see their Isaac Luke in there, eyes rolling backwards.
Oh, what's this?
Oh, he had a documentary, but no. Anyway, let's wrap this up, eh? Dalian Team of the Year, Dalian medalists. What did we think?
Yeah, they got it right. I think there were no disputing it. For the two best players were Nick and Nick, and rightfully so.
Yeah, Olivia
finally
Koenig
good
was
to see.
definitely the outright Dalian medalist for the woman. I agree.
Yeah.
She had a great season. What can you guys tell me about her season?
I cannot tell you
the
anything.
same-
Ah, you.
The same as you. The same as you. Didn't watch a minute.
I did actually.
Did you?
Yeah, I watched most of the Broncos games.
She's not on the Broncos.
Nah, but obviously they played against.
How did they?
Yeah, Roosters.
Well
Yeah, man.
deserved. Well deserved is all we can say. We didn't watch. Well deserved.
Phenomenal player. Phenomenal player. We're happy with the Dally M result, obviously. I think when did it look wrapped by what, from our point of view, not from when we've seen the stats, the numbers pop up there, but when did we think it was wrapped by what, round 22?
Yeah, around there. Well, I wouldn't say wrapped, but it was like he had kind of emerged as like the leader for it, you know. And then as the weeks kind of went on, it just more solidified more than anything, you know. So yeah.
Imagine if he never had been suspended.
Oh, then it would have been a wrap a week earlier.
Yeah, it would have been. I would have felt a lot more comfortable with it. Like they were. It was pretty. Oh, not pretty early, but like probably around 22ish, where I felt like Hughes was clearly the best player in the league. But I'm also a Teddy fan, so I watched the Roosters, and I would watch Teddy rip teams up and be like, it's gonna be a contest. I didn't think it was a 1 point or however close it was. Yeah, 1 point. I didn't think it was a 1 point difference, but I see how it gets there.
Yeah.
I see how it gets that close. But yeah, like I didn't like the 1 point difference. I felt like it was a lot further apart in terms of like how they were actually playing.
I just want to kind of know, how did Teddy get the max points in a game where the Roosters lost?
What, that last game? Did they lose the last game?
No, wasn't it? Didn't he get the 6 points in the Raiders loss?
No, he got
No.
2 points for
He
that
got
one.
Who did they play in that last game?
Well, I don't know, but he got max points.
Sharks?
Hold on.
Nah, Sharks won their last game of the regular season.
What was it? Round 27. Bunnies.
Oh yeah, no, that's easy one. Yeah. Imagine if he lost because he got rested. What do you reckon Bellyache reckons?
You would have just laughed at him, I reckon.
He would have said, "Sorry, kid."
Yeah.
I
Well,
reckon he
don't
would
get
have said,
suspended.
well, let's go get your let's go
Yeah.
get there finally.
And that's what I want to ask now is how motivated are the boys, especially, Ali Couture winning second rower, Harry Grant winning hooker again. I don't know how many he's got, but he must have heaps. Will Warbrick obviously being nominated is huge enough as it is, considering it's his second full season in the NRL. So that's his second season in. He's definitely got accolades coming his way. How much momentum do you think that's going to give the boys going into Sunday night's game?
I mean, yeah, they've got a lot of momentum working with them. Like the game on last week and tonight with all the awards they're getting. You got to say that they're looking like favourites to win it. Everything's kind of gone their way. It's just whether they can deliver on the day.
I'd be a little bit more worried about the snub potential in terms of Fish didn't get there. Granted, Luai did play a bulk of the season at 7, so I understand why he didn't win 6.
Did he show up?
Who, Luai?
Yeah. Was he
I
there
don't think
tonight?
any of the Panthers did.
Yeah, I don't think the Panthers.
Just Yo and To'o.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, fine. Yeah. It's clear. They got told.
Yeah,
you gotta
must
be
have,
here. You gotta be here.
I think if you've been nominated for something, you had to show up.
Apart from old Ivan.
Yeah. And so that was what I was going to ask next is, do you think for Ivan, that's however many years in a row now, he hasn't been selected as coach of the year, but he's come up with the chocolates at the end of it. Do you think that's giving him more ammo to go down that route once more?
Maybe. I mean, definitely, if he's never won it, he probably the best coach to have never won that award now, right? With all of his accolades in the last 5 years. So it's definitely something that you want in your back pocket, but I don't know if he looks at it like that or he values it like that. He just kind of, he knows the role. He knows what he's there for. He knows he's got bigger things on his plate, Not saying that he wouldn't mind it, be pretty cool to win one of those awards, but if he had to pick between that and a chip, I think I know which one he'd pick.
Yeah. It's kind of one of those things where I wonder if because he's been snubbed so many times from it, he just kind of doesn't care now. Like, it doesn't really add any more incentive to him, because at the end of the day, he would rather win a championship than he would win Coach of the Year.
Yeah.
But yeah, part of me does wonder about this game. The Storm have all the award winners, apart from Warbrick.
Hey, he's a nominee.
Yeah, well, but that's the only one that they got over him, right? Is that To'o got the wing?
Yeah, but to be fair,
Joe was there as well.
Oh yeah, and
Warbrick
like his game
picked up.
forgettable.
I think once Coates went down, they looked more to Warbrick as a scoring option. When Coates went down during that Origin period, that's when they started moving more attack down Warbrick's way. So his kind of was a late season surge.
Yeah. I don't know. I just feel like Warbrick's improved so much since last year, so it's like...
Oh, 100%.
So yeah, it is. It's kind of tough because I thought Warbrick, he was good enough to potentially make the Kiwis last year. Probably not play, but holy shit. But at least be in the squad.
Yeah. And this year, well, I mean, it's a new coaching system, right? So we'll see who plays. I mean, if he could kick, he'd be in. He'd be in with a grin, man. It's just unfortunate that currently there are no kickers on the Kiwi squad.
Cycle.
Yeah, so that really reduces us to one wing available, and it's probably going to go to Moritalo. However, I'd like to see Will Warbrick get a run. I think he'd give Australia a good run for their money. Now, we're about to round out the evening with our favourite segment, Big Plays and Paydays. Big plays and Paydays this week is brought to you by who? Sealord.
Yeah. I forgot. Yeah, Sealord.
Yeah. Give us your best Sealord spiel.
Pick up their tin salmon. Great. Light, what is it? Light chili and olive oil. Perfect. Chuck that on a Sammy with some lettuce, some tomato, mayo. Got a salt, got to pepper the tomato. You're in for it. Yep, that's it.
Man, you are not selling that, man. You gotta sell the brand.
Brother, you want a good salmon sandwich? There you have it.
From who?
I can only from Sealord. I can only speak on facts, your team.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna say something I don't believe in. I believe that salmon on a sandwich. Perfect.
Gotta have like a slogan like Sealords.
Sealord.
Smoking.
Where great sandwiches happen.
There you go. Heard it here first, Fano. Sealords is bringing to you Big Plays and Paydays. It's not actually, we're still not sponsored. We're looking for a sponsor. Sky City, you'll sponsor us on our next video, surely. Drink the Milky. Someone, please. We'll head over to 2 for his Big Play and Payday.
Yes, Fano. I mean, with there only being one game this week, we had to do something a little bit different. So instead of putting a $10 bet on, we thought, why not put $100 on? It is the grand final, and it is Big Plays and Paydays. So why not? I just put together a little same game multi, so might as well go over it. I have gone with the under for points combined. It is at 40.5. That's the line. I do think it's going to be a low scoring game. I have it at 18-16 or like 20-16. Like that's kind of I have the score. I do have Melbourne to win, 1-12. I have Pep as anytime try scorer, and I have Brighton To'o as the first try scorer. I think I do, yeah. I feel as though that's going to be a try similar to how they got them in one of their knockout games that they played, where you know how the Storm's line was always compressing up in your face. I think they kicked it to Critter when they scored. It was like literally second minute of the game. Cleary went into dummy half, like pretty much on the line, and just booted it his way. That's kind of, I'm wondering if they'll pull that play out again if they got a chance early in the game. So that's why I've gone with To'o as first try scorer. And then I've got Nick Meaney to score 6+ points, just because he's the kicker. So, and then Nathan Cleary as well, 6+ points. Fano, you put $100 on that same game multi, and you get a return of $41,126. Sure.
Nice. That's a great bet from you. Before we move on to Sam, I just want to point out that the Full Gold ship posting page posted under Bloke in the Bars, the locker room on Facebook's Deli and Team of the Year, Drew Hutchinson robbed.
He should have got max points for every team he played against.
Thanks. He should be starting next year.
Hey, knock on wood, he will be.
Hey, let's go. That's what the comp needs.
That's what I need.
Hey.
I need for him to be starting for the Bulldogs.
All right, brother. What's your Big Plays and Payday?
All right. I've got two. One's just like a single bet. I've been a big fan of this guy this season, and I feel like in the postseason he's been really good. Josh King for Clive Churchill is paying $51.
Gee.
$51. Single bet him, chuck $10 on. Hey, you could come out a winner. Just saying. But no, my big plays in Payday is I have To'o to be first, second, or third try scorer, with him to also score a second try. So, first, second, third, and then also 2 or more tries. I've got Will Warbrick, and then I've got Nick Meaney, 6+ points, and then any 2 of Ryan Pappenhausen, Xavier Coates, and Isaac Tungle to score. If you put $100 on that, it pays you out just over 10K.
Damn. That's not bad. Let's go. All right. Well, my big play in Payday, brought to you by Sea Lord. Good sandwiches. What was the phrase?
I don't remember. Were sandwiches happen or something?
Sea Lord. Where sandwich is sandwich. Look, I've gone with Panthers to win 1-12. Coates, Warbrick, To'o, anytime try scorers. Warbrick, first try scorer. Media to score 4+. Cleary to score 8+. $10 pays out $2,309.70. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, gamble responsibly. Only gamble what you can afford. And if you or someone you know has a gambling problem, please reach out to the gambling hotline at 0800gamblers.com. It's not actually the line. I don't know it. But Google it and it'll come up, because we're an international podcast. And we probably don't have the regional number for you in your district, state, county, country, territory, island, inlet. What else? I like places where people can live. Cave. Hey man, don't knock it until you try it, man. Isn't that where Osama was?
I don't know.
Me either. Me either, my man. Me either.
You know who did know, though?
America.
Yeah. We'll leave it at that.
They found him. What was his name? Emily Blunt's husband found him in that movie.
Yeah, the brother from
Jim.
Chuck.
Yeah, Jim from The Office.
Oh, was it that one? Oh.
Yeah.
So it was the guy
Was
from
it him?
Chuck. I have no idea.
Well, it was one of them. Anyway, that's our big plays and paydays. That's it for our preview shows for the NRL season. However, the NRL international season kicks off in a couple of weeks. So stay tuned. We'll be back for that. We're also dropping our episode on Monday, so make sure you come back for that. Yeah, we're looking forward to it. It's going to be a big episode. Grand final. Get up. Whoever, to be honest, I don't care. It's not the Broncos, so I'm not really that invested in it. There will be a winner and there will be a loser. I just hope I'm on the financial side of it, is all I've got to say. Other than that, comment, like, subscribe, share it with your friends, your family, your auntie, your uncle, your dog, your goldfish, your cat, your cow, your duck, your chicken, your geese, your gorilla. Rest in peace, Harambe. Over to you, Sam.
Yeah. Hey, congrats, Jerome. Well deserved. Hard luck, Teddy. Big fan. But nah,
what about Olivia?
Yeah, hey, great work. Great work. Don't know watch your game. Great work. Good luck in the final. But yeah, shout out to everyone who listens. Shout out 99 Dreams for all they do. Yeah, see, you got us too.
That's probably your best outro that you've done so far, though. That's been your best outro.
Not bad, not bad. As always, we'd like to thank those both near and far for your support of the podcast. We really do appreciate it. That is another episode done and dusted, our second to last on the NRL season. It is here, Fado, the time we have been waiting for. The whole season has built us to this moment, and we can't wait for it. I think I just hope for a good game. Wherever it goes, it goes. And the next episode will look a bit different because we'll all be together.
Yeah.
So I guess you'll see us in one screen as opposed to 3. So they'll be different. It'll be the first time we're all in the same space in a while, actually. So, yes, looking forward to a big weekend up in Auckland to celebrate the NRL season that was. And the final that could go down is a banger. But other than that, I don't have anything else to say. So we will see you when we see you. Stay safe, whānau. Cheer to the chirp. Mā te wā.